Hello, buddy. Welcome back to Tin Man's Core Channel. I'm your host, Jeffrey Tin Man Taylor, and today I'm going to show you all my entire physical media collection that I have acquired over the years. So, let's get started with the bottom pile, which is the majority of them, and work our way up to the top. All right, I think I'll start off with this stack right here. And I got the three Night at the Museum movies. Number one was my all-time favorite, but then I saw number two, and I was like, I don't know, I kind of like this one. And then number three is sad because that's the final one that Robin Williams was in before he died. A true 90s classic, Small Soldiers. I wish they hurry up and make a number two to this. Steel Magnolias, Daddy Daycare and Daddy Day Camp. And to be honest with you, if I had to pick which one of these two is my favorite, I'm going with the original with Eddie Murphy. The classic Wizard of Oz. The Wiz starring Diana Ross and Michael Jackson. Walt Disney Studios' Return to Oz, which was supposed to be a sequel to the original. Tin Man, the complete miniseries. Oz the Great and Powerful. Alice in Wonderland from 1933. Alice's Adventures in Wonderland from 1972. Alice in Wonderland from 1985. Bud Abbott and Lou Costello in African Screams. And I got two versions, one in color and one in black and white. Abbott Costello, Jack and the Beanstalk. The Three Musketeers starring Gene Kelly, Angela Lansbury, Jerry Lewis's Nutty Professor, and its animated sequel with Drake Bell, Nutty Professor. And I only got part two of Eddie Murphy's Nutty Professor movies, but I'm planning on tracking down to number one. And finally, out of this stack, the Shrek movies. Shrek 1, 2, which I love 2 because of the ball that they have towards the end, and Donkey and Puss in Boots singing Live It Vida Loca. And then they having that far, far away idol at the end. Shrek the Third. Shrek the Halls. Shrek Forever After, the final chapter. Yeah, right. They're making a fifth one now. Donkey's Christmas Shrektacular. Puss in Boots. Puss in Boots, the Three Diablos. Scared Shrekless. And finally, Puss in Boots, The Last Wish. Got 4 blue-collar related movies right here. And the first one is Blue Collar Comedy Tour the Movie. Blue Collar Comedy Tour Rides Again, Blue Collar Comedy Tour One for the Road, and Larry the Cable Guy Morning Constitutions. All right, stack number 2, Inspector Gadget 1 and 2. Don't get me wrong, I like Inspector Gadget 1, but number 2, I kind of like the storyline better, but I hated that Gadget was glitching out most of the time. And then I got Inspector Gadget's Greatest Caper Ever. Ronald Howard's Sherlock Holmes series. The Hound of the Baskervilles with Peter Cushing and Christopher Lee. Young Sherlock Holmes. And I don't have the rest of Jeremy Brent's Sherlock Holmes seasons, so I got The Return of Sherlock Holmes Volume 4 and his last one, The Memoirs of Sherlock Holmes. And then I also got the 2 Robert Downey Jr. Sherlock Holmes movies. All right, now we're getting into some comedy movies. Casper, Mrs. Doubtfire, Jeff Dunham's Control Chaos, Jeff Dunham Arguing with Myself, Jeff Dunham's Sparkling of Insanity, The Jeff Dunham Show, Jeff Dunham's Very Special Christmas Special, The Mask with Jim Carrey, and The Son of the Mask. Next we got Robots with Ewan McGregor and Robin Williams, Kathy Rigby as Peter Pan. Then you got this Peter Pan that came out in the early 2000s, Hook and Pan with Hugh Jackman in it. The Cat in the Hat with Mike Myers, Sister Act 1 and Sister Act 2. Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, Wonka, Tom and Jerry's Willy Wonka and Chocolate Factory movie, and then Tom and Jerry, The Fast and the Fury, Tom and Jerry the movie, and Tom and Jerry the Magic Arena. All right, for my Disney stack of movies, Alice in Wonderland, Brother Bear 1 and 2, and I highly recommend these 2 movies because they really pull your heartstrings, but it's fun family adventures. Dumbo, Hunchback of Notre Dame, Incredibles 1 and 2, Peter Pan Return to Neverland, Pinocchio, Pocahontas, Robin Hood, Tarzan, Toy Story 1, 2, 3, Toy Story of Terror, and Toy Story 4, Alice in Wonderland with Johnny Depp and its sequel Through the Looking Glass. Then we got The Country Bears, National Treasure 1 and 2, Book of Secrets, Pirates of the Caribbean, The Curse of Black Pearl, Dead Man's Chest, At World's End, On Stranger Tides, Dead Men Tell No Tales. The Shaggy Dog with Fred McMurray. Shaggy Dog with Tim Allen. Treasure Island. Okay, now we're down to my Scooby-Doo stack of movies. Scooby-Doo the Movie. Scooby-Doo 2 Monsters Unleashed. Scooby-Doo and Crypto 2. Season 1 and 2 of Scooby-Doo and Guess Who. Scooby-Doo meets Courage the Cowardly Dog. The Sword and the Scoob. Trick or Treat Scooby-Doo. Happy Halloween Scooby-Doo. Scooby-Doo and Batman the Brave and the Bold. Scooby-Doo Return to Zombie Island. Scooby-Doo Curse of the 13 Ghosts. WrestleMania Mystery. Scooby-Doo Music of the Vampire. Scooby-Doo and Kiss Rock and Roll Mystery. Scooby-Doo Mark of the Blue Falcon. Scooby-Doo and the Goblin King. Aloha Scooby-Doo. Scooby-Doo Pirates Ahoy. Scooby-Doo and the Legend of the Vampire. Scooby-Doo and the Cyber Chase. Now, I think out of all the animated solo Scooby-Doo movies, this one has to be my favorite because they get to jump into a video game. Scooby-Doo and the Alien Invaders. And this is another favorite of mine, Scooby-Doo and the Witch's Ghost. Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island. Scooby-Doo Arabian Nights. Scooby-Doo and the Ghoul School. The complete 13 Ghosts of Scooby-Doo miniseries. And finally, Scooby-Doo meets Batman. For the last stack of movies on the floor is my Western movie collection. Quickly Down Under. The Mask of Zorro and the Legend of Zorro. Crossfire Trail. Conacher. Lonesome Dove. And a Tommy Lee Jones film called The Three Burials of Melquiades Estrada. Haven't watched it yet, so I don't know what it's all about. Rainbow Valley. McClintock. Red River. The Alamo. El Dorado. War Wagon and Sons of Katie Elder. True Grit. And Chisholm. The Cowboys. Big Jake. Rio Lobo. Rio Bravo. Rio Grande. John Wayne was making a lot of films with Rio in it. The Hateful Eight. Maverick. Tombstone. The Maleficent 7 movie collection that has 4 of their movies on it. The remake Alamo. True Grit remake. Gangs of New York. 3:10 to Yuma. The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. 2 Meals for Sister Sarah. Joe Kidd. High Plains Drifter. The Outlaw of Josie Wales. Unforgiven. And this has got to be one of my favorite westerns. Silverado. Dances with Wolves. Wider. Open Range. And the miniseries Hatfields and McCoys. Alright, now we're down to my Marvel shelf. And since I got a lot of movies right here, I'm not going to pull them out, but you can probably see the titles. Starting off with my Incredible Hulk television series starring Bill Bixby and Lou Ferrigno. Seasons 1 through 5. The Incredible Hulk double feature that's got The Incredible Hulk Returns, The Trial of the Incredible Hulk, Death of the Incredible Hulk, Hulk 2003, Ghost Rider Spirit of Vengeance, Blade 1, 2, and 3 Trinity, X-Men 1, X-Men 2 United, X-Men 3 The Last Stand, X-Men Orange is Wolverine, X-Men First Class, X-Men Apocalypse, X-Men Dark Phoenix, The Wolverine, Deadpool 1 and 2, Daredevil, and Elektra, Fantastic Four Rise of the Silver Surfer, Fantastic Four Reboot, Venom Let There Be Carnage, Morbius, Madam Web, and Kraven the Hunter. Alright, I'm not going to pull these movies out, I'll just tell you the titles. Starting over here, we got Spider-Man 1, 2, and 3, Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2, and then Iron Man, Hulk, Iron Man 2, Thor, Captain America First Avenger, Avengers, Iron Man 3, Thor The Dark World, Captain America, Winter Soldier, Guardians of the Galaxy, Avengers, Age of Ultron, Ant-Man, Captain America Civil War, Doctor Strange, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, Spider-Man Homecoming, Thor Ragnarok, Black Panther, Avengers Infinity War, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania, Captain Marvel, Avengers Endgame, and Spider-Man Far From Home, Black Widow, Shang-Chi, Legend of the Ten Rings, and the Ten Rings, Eternals, Spider-Man No Way Home, Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, Black Panther Wakanda Forever, and Thor Love and Thunder, Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, and the Marvels. And up top I got Deadpool and Wolverine, Fantastic Four First Steps, and Captain America Brave New World. Next shelf, DC movies. First off, right in front, I got the Wonder Woman Complete Collection. Then we got Batman 43 serial, Batman and Robin 49 serial, Batman the movie, Batman 89, Batman Returns, Batman Forever, Batman and Robin, Batman Begins, The Dark Knight, Dark Knight Rises, the Batman with Robert Pattinson and the Max Fleischer Superman cartoon series, Superman the movie, Superman 2, 3, Superman the Christopher Reeve story, Lois and Clark season 1, which I need to watch, Superman Returns, Green Lantern, Green Hornet, Catwoman, V for Vendetta, and then all these are here DCEU movies. But we got Man of Steel, Batman v Superman, Suicide Squad, Wonder Woman, Zack Snyder's Justice League, Aquaman, Shazam, Birds of Prey, Wonder Woman 84, The Suicide Squad, Shazam Fury of the Gods, The Flash, Blue Beetle, and Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. Then above these movies and shows, I got Batman Beyond Complete Series, Batman Beyond Return of the Joker, Batman The Dark Knight Returns Part 1 and 2, Joker 2019 and Joker Folie A Deuce, and Superman 2025. Alright, now we're on my shelf with the monster-related movies. Frankenstein and its sequel, Bride of Frankenstein. And we got a double feature with Ghost of Frankenstein and Son of Frankenstein. And another double feature with Frankenstein Meets the Wolfman and House of Frankenstein. Abbott Costello Meets Frankenstein. And then I got 2 Hammer Studios, Curse of Frankenstein and Frankenstein Must Be Destroyed. And I'm planning on trying to locate the others. Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, the Nosferatu remake, Bela Lugosi's Dracula. And I got 4 Hammer Films Dracula movies right here. So we'll start off with the first one. Horror Dracula, Dracula Prince of Darkness, Dracula Has Risen from the Grave, and the Satanic Rites of Dracula. Dan Curtis Dracula, Bram Stoker's Dracula with Gary Oldman, Wes Craven's Dracula 2000, Dracula 2 Ascension, and Dracula 3 Legacy. And then finally, Dracula Untold. Lon Chaney Jr.'s Wolfman, American Werewolf in London, Teen Wolf 1 and 2, Wolf with Jack Nicholson and Michelle Pfeiffer, Wolf Man, starring Anthony Hopkins and Benicio del Toro, and the Blumhouse Wolfman. And I got some Mummy movies as well. The 7-movie collection of the Universal Mummy, and this one includes Abbott Costello Meet the Mummy. Then I got the Peter Cush and Christopher Lee Hammer Films Mummy. Then I got the Mummy starring Brendan Fraser, and its sequel Mummy Returns, and Mummy Tomb of the Dragon Emperor. And I can't wait to see number 4. And then the Mummy with Tom Cruise. Creature from the Black Lagoon, The Invisible Man, Hollow Man with Kevin Bacon, and Blumhouse's Invisible Man. Then I got a 2-disc case of Lon Chaney Sr.'s Phantom of the Opera and Joel Schumacher's Phantom of the Opera movie. And this was very good, if I do say so myself. Ghostbusters, Ghostbusters 2, Ghostbusters Answer the Call, Ghostbusters Afterlife, Ghostbusters Frozen Empire, Van Helsing with Hugh Jackman, and the prequel animated movie Van Helsing, The London Assassin. John Barrymore's Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, an animated film of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, Underworld with Kate Beckinsale, Underworld Revolution, Underworld Rise of the Lycans, Underworld Awakening, and finally Underworld Blood Wars. Now, I'm going to move all these movies out of the way so I can show you the other films I got on the shelf, so we'll be right back. The last of the horror films. I got A Nightmare on Elm Street, Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2, Freddy's Revenge, Nightmare on Elm Street 3, Dream Warriors, Nightmare on Elm Street 4, Dream Master, Nightmare on Elm Street 5, The Dream Child, Freddy's Dead, The Final Nightmare, Wes Craven's New Nightmare, Freddy vs. Jason, and this newer modern thriller movie called Thanksgiving. All right, now I'm going to get to the Friday the 13th stuff. Friday the 13th, Part 1. And these are all deluxe edition DVDs. Part 2. Part 3 in 3D. Part 4, The Final Chapter. Part 5, A New Beginning. Part 6, Jason Lives. Part 7, New Blood. Part 8, Jason Takes Manhattan. Jason Goes to Hell, The Final Friday. And I don't care what you guys say, but I really don't like this one. It was stupid. And finally, Jason X, Friday the 13th, 2009 remake. Texas Chainsaw Massacre number 1. Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 2. Leatherface, The Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 3. Texas Chainsaw Massacre, The Next Generation. And I know all of you will agree that this one was the wackiest one out of the franchise. Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2003 remake. And its prequel, The Beginning. Texas Chainsaw 3D. And Leatherface. Now, the one I'm missing out of this collection is the Netflix one, but I don't know if they're going to release it on DVD yet. All right, for all my Halloween fans out here, I got Halloween 78, Halloween 2. I like this one, Halloween 3, Season of the Witch. Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers. Halloween 5, Revenge of Michael Myers. And I definitely hate this one. Halloween, The Curse of Michael Myers. Halloween H2O. Halloween Resurrection. Rob Zombie's Halloween. Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. Last but not least, we got the Blumhouse trilogy. Halloween 2018, Halloween Kills, and Halloween Ends. Got my Scream 1, Scream 2, Scream 3, and I don't have Scream 4 yet, but let's jump over to Scream 5 and Scream 6, and I can't wait to pick up number 7 to go with this collection. And then finally, I only got one of these movies, as I Know What You Did Last Summer. And then finally on this shelf, I got Candyman 1, Candyman 3, Day of the Dead. I need to find number 2, by the way. And the latest one, Candyman Reboot. And then Silence of the Lambs with Anthony Hopkins, Hannibal, Red Dragon. I think I'm going to stop here and do part 2 another day. So I hope you guys enjoy my physical media collection thus far. Don't forget to like, subscribe, turn on post notifications for more movie-related content like this. This has been another successful installment of the Tin Man's Core channel. I'm your host, Jeffrey Tin Man Taylor. I say that's a wrap. Have a nice day, and I'm going to put all these movies back up. So, goodbye.